This is the Morion Ridge, a long set of unknown peaks and pinnacles located in the western part of the Italian Alps. It's a solitary place. Almost no one dares to climb it. But if you look closely, you can see a little bright dot. It's a cabin, Bivacco Pasqualetti, and to get there, you need to hike and climb for multiple hours on a sharp and exposed ridge. And this is the story of how we went there. And it all started with some hiking. A lot of hiking. So we left the van and started our way up. Our goal was almost 2,000 meters above us. Valleys are really deep there. And after an hour of steady hiking in the forest, we reached the hut. Rifugio Kretzesh. Time for some water.
Pronti per la salita.
By the way, this is Marco, my adventure buddy. So we kept going up. The landscape became more and more rocky, and mountains finally started to feel closer.
So our ridge is there. We're gonna follow the snowy part and then hop on the ridge and follow it till the bivouac.
The Morion Ridge is a really long ridge that almost no one climbs entirely. It takes several days to complete, with no water sources and a really bad rock. The bivouac is set at around 1/10 of it, and still, getting there is quite an adventure. This is the report of the climb. Severe environment, yet extremely fascinating. The tight and exposed rocky ridge constantly shakes as the climber passes, and it never allows to progress in a completely safe way. Honestly, I had no idea what to expect. I'm not much into proper climbing, but I'm quite familiar with scrambling, ridges, especially on unstable terrains like Dolomites. But this time was different. The route would be harder, up to 5th grade, and the exposure and overall environment was something I never experienced before. So harness, rope, helmet, and go. We reached the first peak in just a few minutes, and that's when things started to get spicy. Almost halfway up the ridge. Bivouac should be behind those two towers.
Ho visto, atomico.
Now the harder part begins.
super close. Check this out. Ale, l'hai fatta. Cos'è quello? Riso col pollo al gale. Quello?
Sto bolognese.
Da quanta gente ci viene qua?
Magari 1 o 2 cordate l'anno.
10?
Può essere.
Così poche?
It's around 11 p.m. and it's definitely time to sleep. I'm so tired, but at the same time I'm extremely happy to be here. The way up has been long. We started at 10:30, we arrived here at like 7 p.m. So it was a pretty long one, like 9 hours up, around 2,000 meters. Like officially it's like 1,700, but the ridge is going up and down a lot of times, so I'm pretty sure it's close to 2,000. And yeah, the ridge was also pretty sketchy, pretty hard to climb for my skills, but at the same time I felt very confident. So I'm really happy. The first time I saw this bivouac was like a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, I want to go there so bad. But then I realized it was a pretty complicated climb. So I just waited and waited and waited. Now the opportunity came. I was physically fine, so it was such an incredible experience. And tomorrow we're going back the same way, so once again. So yeah, it's time to rest. I'll see you tomorrow morning. When I woke up, fog was coming and going around the bivouac. And I could see some amazing colors in the sky. And then great views of the surrounding mountains. Matterhorn, Gran Combin. It almost felt like being in a theater, with the curtains raising at different acts. This is the amount of blankets I slept this night with. Like probably like 10 kilos of blankets. It was pretty cold.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups this year. We are the 6th.
By the time we were ready to go back, we were completely immersed in the fog. It can be tricky with these terrains. The rock gets wet, it's easier to lose your orientation, no rescue can pick you up. But with no views around, no sounds, no wind, we had no distractions. It was just us and a sharp line to follow. We are down. So we left the ridge and the bivouac surrounded by the fog, like in a dream. To me, it really felt like it. You know, there are certain places that get so stuck in my head that the moment I'm there and achieve that goal, I find it hard to believe it's actually real. And after 2 days up in the mountains, we were back. Back from one of the most memorable adventures of my life. Alright, so that's the end of this adventure. I really hope you enjoyed. It took me so long to edit this video. I've been to Bivacco Pasqualetti in late September, if I remember correctly, so it took quite some months to come out with this video. But yeah, I hope it was worth it. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. It's super important. And if you are still not subscribed to the channel, please do it. It's very, very important to grow this community and bring more and more videos and ideas to life. That's my goal for this year, turn full-time into like YouTube production. So the way to support me is to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and I will see you in the next adventure.